turn 4.
That's the 93 car of Randy Humphrey. Another car loops it down. Looks like the 34 machine. Check the number on that red orange car that came by. It's hard to see that he spun across, but Humphrey, who was one of the faster cars in qualifying, started back in the middle of the pack. As the caution now being weighed for the first time today by flagman Joe George. There's a look at the 93 of Randy Humphrey.
And the windshield is blown out. When the car turned backwards, it blew the windshield out. Let's check it out and see if we can tell what happened. I guess he got hit from behind and just turned the car around. And when the car goes around, that windshield pops out. The hood actually held the windshield in. It did not leave the car, but there's a lot of work to be able to get that car back in. Looks like 36 of Wally Leatherwood that also spun down there. Yes, it is. Ernie Yarborough back in battling for that 4th spot alongside Foster. Oh, Scott Weaver, the pole sitter.
And he gets tagged from behind. He gets together with the car number 50 of Chad Branham. And they're still wrecking. His car's coming through. Whoa, another heavy impact. The 07 car.
George Crenshaw. That was one heck of a lick. But as you can see, the visibility is gone. When these cars spin around and all that tire smoke, there is no visibility.
Here comes cars now, and they still can't see to get through it. You can't see these cars coming through it. So you can imagine what it was like while it was happening.
See Scott Weaver crawling out of his car.
Davis Myers there in the car number 0. And Weaver, 3 different impacts for that car number 2. And that's what he does for a living, folks. He builds these race cars, and thus you know he's going to build them safely. And a little bit shaken up, looking down inside the car is Scotty Weaver, the second-generation driver. But it looked like he had an impact against the outside wall with another car, came across, got hit from the back, and then got hit again, just almost head-on.
That blow with the 07 of Crenshaw was just... And then we see Danny Snell in the 25. There's Chad Branham, as you talked about, in the 50 car. And there's Crenshaw's car. And we see the safety... And we see Crenshaw taking his helmet off. He is in contact with the safety workers. Man. Kyle, check this out. There we see the first contact between Weaver and Branham, I guess. Yes. And there's the first lick that you talked about, Jerry. And now, as the 2-car Weaver comes back off the racetrack, it's going to get worse. But believe it or not, folks, it's going to get worse. Watch. The black car just gets by the other car, but here comes Crenshaw and head on those 2 cars.
You know, and you look at the wreck and you say, well, how come the 2 car didn't just slam on brakes and keep the car on the wall? When it tears off that right front, you see him go down across the racetrack and come back up. Right here, probably severed a brake line when he got hit. He couldn't get this car low down. Look at the tire bouncing right here.
And, folks, that's what the people behind him are seeing. See all that smoke? We can't see what's going on, but neither can the cars behind them see what's going on.
Watch the impact once again. Weaver is in the 2 car. He was the pole sitter up across the racetrack. Ned Combs just getting by. He gets tagged behind. Now, watch the right side of your screen. Watch for Crenshaw to come through here. 2 cars, 3 cars. There comes Crenshaw. Boom. Oh, my heavens. Because he could not see a thing at all.
He sure could. And the race has been, in fact, red flagged. Once good, let's ride along with Scott Weaver and ride with him in this crash. As we have the Goodies paint, body paint onboard camera. Well, this is down the backstretch, going in turn 3. We started back about a half lap before the accident is going to start. He's alongside Ernie Yarborough. Here, not backing off the throttle. I'm sorry, we have gone back too far. Yeah, we took this back too far. but there's a...
This from Rusty Wise roof cam, the Invincius Shield. Now they're going to make it through. That's Ned Combs right in front of him. They just get by. Boom. And of course,
Rusty Wise didn't quite make it.
No, he didn't make it by. No.
That was the first car that hit the two-car Scott Weaver very, very hard, was Rusty Wise. I wondered who that was. Okay, now the cars are back moving again as the...
Daytona. We're going to ride along with Scott Weaver, his Goodies body paint roof cam. We'll show you exactly what happened to him.
The 50 car on the outside all of a sudden just turns left. It's like he cut a tire down or something broke on his car, Kyle.
Yeah, it's like something in the steering because it just absolutely turned left in the middle of the tires where it shouldn't have turned that drastic. Watch this right here. This is incredible. He's sliding along the wall.
I guess that was Crenshaw that made that tremendous impact.
There again is Branham's car turning left. There is Weaver and Branham going back across the racetrack. Watch the blue car. Combs just getting by. Rusty Wise tags him from behind. Now the two cars spins around. Now watch the top of your screen. One car will get by the two cars. It comes across the racetrack. Crenshaw goes to the inside of the car that gets by. Boom. And he has nowhere to go.
Head on.
From this pack at some point in time to try to run that. Oh, here we go, 3 wide.
Jimmy. Oh, contact, and Jimmy Foster's on his side down the backstretch. 4 cars coming through. Scott Frayling is involved. One car spinning around upside down the back straightaway. And it comes to rest on all fours as the field tries to get slowed down.
Wow. That is a big-time wreck. That's a Daytona wreck.
That's a big wreck. But the one thing that we saw in this wreck so far, until we see the replay, that we didn't really see in the first wreck, everybody kept moving. The cars kept rolling. The cars kept, the momentum kept. Crenshaw just took a wicked stop. When he hit in the first accident. But this wreck, everybody just kept moving along.
There's a 28 car climbing out Derek Kelly, getting the window net down, and there's some significant front and rear end damage on that car.
He's sponsored by the sponsor of the race, Discount Auto Parts.
Jimmy Foster's car number 30 involved. He actually, when the car went down on the inside, he's the white car. Now watch him make a move to the inside, Benny.
Here's it on the inside. And all of a sudden, he's going to touch the apron. No, Frayling. Kyle, I think it's exactly what you were talking about before. The air and these little cars just moved them back and forth, and they just moved into each other.
Yeah, it just moved the center car from left to right. It got away from him. He got in the outside car, came back across, hit Foster, pinned him on the outside wall with those 3 guys. It looked like Bill Elliott, myself, and Dale Earnhardt at Talladega last year when Earnhardt was up on the hood of our cars. Same kind of deal, and then everybody else had no place to go.
A different look looking up from turn 3. You see Foster's car get up on its side, go into the outside catch fence. There's Frayling there. The 28 car of Kelly is there. They come back across.
And there we see Frayling hit the... Is that the 75 car?
Looks like Brent Moore, the Grease Lightning car, the Gary Moron car, and it's up on its roof spinning around and around coming toward us, the Grease Lightning Ford.
These 2 cars got together. These 3 cars got together right here. They're in front of 2/3 of the field, are all running in that pack. You saw him go back up and hit the yellow car, come down and get into Foster. Boom. Hopgood's got no place to go. They're in that wreck. There's 4 cars in that bunch right up against the wall right there. Here's a tire comes off. These guys are trying to avoid it. No place to go.
And there we see Frayling is going to touch, we think it's a 75 car, and he just starts tumbling down the backstretch.
I don't know how in the world Joe Buford in the 11 car got through that. Now, Buford's right to the right of your screen behind these 3. There's the contact. Frayling and Kelly on the outside. They come across. Foster gets tagged in the right rear. His car gets on its side. Now, look at the 11 car, Buford. He somehow gets by all this by staying to the inside.
Buford, he runs Nashville on a regular basis. He's a good little race car driver.
There's the 84 Brandon Head going by. Watch the 75 get clipped right there, the back end of his car, and car gets sideways, and the air just picks the car up.
Once the car gets sideways, these cars, like we said before, they're so light that as they start bouncing, they start sliding, they get up in the air. It's not a lot for them to get up in the air. But like I said before, the one good thing about these, none of these cars took good solid hits. They all took moving hits.
There's Trav Cruz. Some heavy damage in front of his car. And he's cut the radio out talking to his crew and saying, yeah, I'm okay.
Well, once again, lap number 19, third caution flag today. Derek Kelly, Jimmy Foster, Scott Kraling, Brent Moore, and Trav Cruz. The limited list we have so far. Back in just a moment. Back at Daytona Beach, Florida, Daytona International Speedway. We are once again for the second time today under a red flag situation. There's the Ned Combs car, the car number 9, the Innova.com machine. There's a 75 car. Brent Moore involved, the 65 car, Justin Hopgood being pulled away. A moment ago, Terry Brooks, car number 27, being hauled in on the wrecker. Also involved, Scott Kraling. There's a look at Brooks. Scott Kraling, car number 39, also involved. Jimmy Foster's car number 30, the 28 of Derek Kelly. And the 81 of Trav Cruz. There's Foster's car mangled front and back, and there's a look at the 81 car of Trav Cruz.
And he is his buddy. He's his pal. As long as it's an advantage to Huffman. When it ceases to be, and he'll no longer be his buddy, no longer be his pal.
All right, let's check in the fence once again with the driver who's had to call it a day. Whoa, hold on. One driver, that is Hopgood. That spins down across the banking. Jake Hopgood spins and will bring out the caution. Well, no caution as of yet. His car has come to rest out on the apron of the racetrack, and now it is fired. And no caution flag being waved by Joe George. Out of your screen, Robert Huffman, right side, Ernie Yarborough.
We saw those two cars together, and evidently Yarborough felt his tire going because he backs off. And here he loses control coming off the corner, goes on the apron, and Kyle, it looks like he ought to shoot back across the racetrack. He does a pretty good job keeping it straight.
Does a really good job of keeping the thing straight. You know, the one thing that happened was they were on pit road, they leave pit road, and how do they exit? These cars have to exit down on the apron. They had to run through the site where both crashes happened. Pit road down here and getting up to speed on the back stretch. Could have run over something on the racetrack and just cut her. Lap 4.
As fast as they are, they caught this group.
We had 3 separate packs that were spaced out probably a second and a half or 2 seconds apart, and now we have 2 packs. One big.
Brandon Head gets bumped from behind, and around he goes, and there's the Jimmy Prince car spinning. The 1 car. If I'm not mistaken, Brandon Head got bumped from behind, maybe by Joe Buford. I don't know.
And look at these 2 cars. They spin down off the bank, and where they go? Do they go to pit road? No, they head right back up in the middle of the racetrack. As one of the fastest cars on the racetrack.
Well, it'll be 5 to go. This time by as they head down the 3,000-foot back straightaway. Race cars, and now Huffman looks to the inside in turn 3. There's a lane on the bottom of the racetrack, but he can't pull it off. Next batter of it pulls back up in line behind Christian Elder. You'll get a single handful from Joe George this time by. 5 fingers signifying 5 left to go, and 1 car is just tumbling end over end, side over side. That is Danny Bagwell's car number 10. And looks like all the wheels there. Is that 3 wheels I see on the apron of the racetrack?
That's the rear end housing laying right there beside of it. That car just absolutely came apart right there. Look at this.
Wow.
There's Danny Bagwell moving, trying to get the helmet unhooked as the car is laying there with the bottom of the car facing oncoming traffic. They are getting the safety crews moving to him right away, but Danny moving, and that is a great shot to see him unhooking the helmet. The roof of the car is gone, the front of the car is gone, the front clip is gone. That was from his Ford. That's a Ford Escort. That's one of the new ZX2 Escorts. And now he lays down on the racetrack after that wild flip.
Just happy to be out of there right now.
Al Allison there to the right of him. Let's see if we can see what happened to Danny Bagwell. Wow, car tumbling side over side. The windshield is gone. Parts and pieces flying off. The tires are gone. The axle, the rear end is gone. Motor parts out of the car. The hood is gone. The roof is gone. And see the roll cage? It comes down on the roll cage, but he is secure in that seat. Still buckled in with that 5-point seat belt when the car comes to a rest.